Hey, hey, hey. We are live. We're hanging out. We're looking at the airport. What's happening here as we kind of check, see what's going on. We got video, we got audio. We want to see what's happening. Weather First Meteorologist Garry Frank with an update here on this Saturday night. And, you know, the big talk for severe weather is out west. We've had warm conditions, cloudy conditions, but I want to take you through some of the stuff we're looking at here ahead as we have temperatures that have warmed up pretty nicely. The sun has come out at times, but we've also had a few showers. It's still 74. This isn't going to change a lot. But as we talk about the severe weather threat, I want to take you to the big picture, and I want to show you not only the number of lightning strikes that are going on, but it's this line of storms that's been problematic. And as you look at that out west and the numerous tornado warnings, if you have family on the other side of the state, talk about how this is going to impact us. We've obviously been mentioning severe weather for the last couple of days and how the threat is, and I want to kind of bring you up to speed on what we're thinking here now and what's going on here, because we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings here in place, a tornado warning, and then as I kind of put this into a full screen, I want to show you what's going on here as I continue to look at a few things here. Now, look to the north. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings and even a flash flood warning. I think that's going to be kind of a sneaky thing that we have to monitor here over the next 24 to 48 hours. But that is the lone tornado warning that's going on right now. And you'll notice that as I kind of look at a few of these storms that are working their way past Chillicothe, Macon, those types of storms may start to impact areas north of Quincy. That's the direction that they're traveling. They are not traveling toward our area. So as I kind of take this out for you, show you multiple areas of severe weather, there is a tornado watch in place for these areas until midnight. There's a flash flood watch in place, or there's a flood watch in place as well. Let me erase that last one. That's until Sunday at 1 o'clock. So this area that still has that tornado watch is in place, and it's about as far north as Bethel, Knox City. I mean, this is really north of our area, right? So there's some areas that are just north of Pike County that are like Quincy that are involved in that flash flood. But when you look at this whole mess of this system, and as I come back to show you and talk to you a little bit, the whole mess of this system, as it slowly works its way, until that's gone, our severe threat isn't over. And I think what we're going to start to see are a few showers and storms, which are probably not going to be severe by any stretch of the imagination, but they're going to maybe produce some pretty good rain. And I can at least take you to a different product and kind of zoom in and show you some of that rain that's already starting to develop. It's not out of the question that we could get some smaller hail with a few of these. And let me switch to a different look at things here as we look at a different version of the radar here. Like I mentioned, this is not severe weather, but there are going to be some spots where you can get a brief burst of rain, and this is going to be something that we have to look at this evening from Sullivan to Belleville, New Athens. There'll be showers around. It's cooler, it's plenty humid, and this rain is falling on an area where we already have pretty significant rain from last night, so the ground is soaked. So as far as flooding is concerned, that's maybe kind of a sneaky thing that gets up on us to talk about what's going on over the next several hours, because I think as this line starts to work its way in a less than favorable environment into the overnight hours, we're probably not going to get severe weather. And I want to show you what this may look like, because as we go through 10:30, these hit and miss showers and storms are around, but I don't think they're very severe. I think the severe weather avoids us. And watch how this line of storms finally pushes closer to us by midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock, maybe a stronger storm or two, and maybe an isolated severe thunderstorm warning. However, I think that what we're going to see here is a few storms that should weaken a little bit. And as they do so, maybe some pea-sized, dime-sized hail. But I think as they continue to fizzle out, watch this by 5 o'clock, this particular look is falling apart. So what does that mean for us? I think that we're going to have to watch out whether or not that rain continues the first part of the morning, or it kind of fizzles out and allows the atmosphere to recharge. At this point, I'm expecting a few storms, perhaps from Troy, Herman, Sullivan, maybe Chesterfield. And if those hold together crossing the river, that's not out of the question. I think the bigger chance will be tomorrow, and it's the second half of the day. The heating of the day, and while there may not be much heating, it's already warm, it will not take much. We have a lot of humidity in the air as well. So this wide area of a slight risk for severe weather. Well, if you've been paying attention at all, you've been following along today. In fact, I can even throw this on here for today. So I want to show you the difference so we talk about what the actual difference is, because you look at today, for example, look at the significant difference for today, right? I mean, you've got this, which doesn't happen all the time, a moderate risk for severe weather. That's where the bullseye from tornadic development has been, and we've kind of lucked out in the sense that we haven't seen any reports of any long-track violent tornadoes at this point, but it's been more of a cluster of storms, and they're kind of running into their own way where some of them are weakening the others. But as that cluster of storms comes together, this whole line continues to slide our way. You'll notice that we're technically in a slight risk, and I think that more has to do with, even as I zoom into the spots that are involved in this, like Bowling Green, Herman, and Rolla, most of that has to do with tonight's line as this starts to fall apart. And that is very coincidental with the fact that the colors go down just a little bit to what we're expecting. But then you look at what's going on tomorrow and you say, well, that's not that big a deal. And it may not be. That's fine, but it's going to be dependent on how those storms stay around. Do they have that cloud cover and rain? Does it carry through 10, 11, 12 o'clock? Well, if it does and it holds together, then our severe threat winds down. But if it ends, the atmosphere gets recharged, and then there's that main line with better ingredients, not even withholding the fact that we have no sunshine. There are a lot of other ingredients in play, like the amount of wind above the surface. That may be enough to get some wind at the surface. So by 4 o'clock tomorrow, that is actually what this is showing. And I think a lot of them are starting to show that as well. So as you look at tomorrow afternoon, this line of storms may start to develop. And let's plan on tomorrow afternoon, there may be some sort of watch if that happens, right? So many areas may be involved in some sort of severe thunderstorm watch with the possibility of a tornado or two involved in this. So by tomorrow evening, this line of storms, if it looks like this, that may transition to a wind threat as well. And as it gets closer to us, that's where we're going to see the possibility for severe weather, which eventually winds down pretty quickly after midnight. So at this point, tomorrow, temperatures in the 65 to 70 degree range to start. A few breaks in the clouds help us warm up in the upper 70s, right around 80 degrees. But we have such a strong breeze at the surface, it's there above the surface as well. And then our rain chances start to pick up by 4 and really increase later on. So it is a weather alert day, as those morning showers and storms may limit severe threat. We have afternoon and evening storms with wind, hail, a brief tornado, timings between 4 and 11. If we get those storms, they could be intense. If we have the right environment that sets up, that's where I think we're going to see things in terms of significant severe weather for us. And this, listen, with all the stuff that the Storm Prediction Center has to go deal with today with these storms, you know, they've been focusing on this system today and all those ingredients. As that continues to slide our way and falls apart, one thing I'm noticing right now is more of these are just severe thunderstorm warnings, which are indicating some pretty good wind, but you know, the tornado threat has not, at least, you know, kind of gone through. So I want to look in here, and as we look at this, I'm going to put this on the full screen so I can kind of perhaps look at some of your questions here, if you've got a few of them here, you know, just because that's what we're trying to do, just trying to figure things out. So can't look at the YouTube ones as easy, but I got a few questions here. So anyway, you know, overall, not too many questions overall, so we'll just leave it be. But I did once again want to update you. This system is gradually working its way toward us. I just don't think that we're going to see anything in the way of significant severe weather tonight. There may be a few strong wind gusts, some smaller hail, but in terms of severe weather, you'll notice that a lot of this is really working its way toward our area over the last hour or so, where we have a few storms, but I'm not expecting severe weather from these storms. As I loop this, I want you to see this here as I kind of show you what's happening. None of these storms are really kind of holding their strength, although this one may be producing some decent hail here north of Oak Hill, just based on what that product on the radar is doing. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of brief hail in Oak Hill. So we'll have to watch out for some of this south of Gerald, where you could get some pea-sized hail and some brief heavy rain. I think that's going to be an issue the rest of the evening. But when it comes to severe weather, I'm not quite certain that we're really primed for that the rest of the night. That's something that we will continue to monitor for you. But I think at this point, as we continue to look at what's going on, our active pattern continues. Even as I just kind of look at any more questions that are going on, I think for the most part, we're still looking at the possibility of stronger storms that line up. But, you know, for the most part, storms like this one still may produce 30, 40, maybe 50 mile an hour wind gusts and maybe some pea-sized hail. But for the most part, I'm not expecting severe weather at this point in our area. It's something that we'll continue to monitor. This is going to be more tomorrow, of course, as things may change. We'll keep you posted here. Until then, right now, that's what we're expecting tonight. So overall, we're going to continue to leave you with the radar here as we have to keep you posted for what's going on. But I think for the most part, things are trending in the right direction here. So that's where we are when it comes to severe weather. But as we look ahead, we're still going to monitor that potential trend, and we'll keep you posted. Until then, have a safe night. We'll keep you posted for the